I found this article on MSN.com. It's actually from Fox News, but it's on the MSN homepage. Sega agrees to buy Rovio Entertainment, creator of Angry Birds, for $775 million. Talk about their Japanese video game developer Sega Sammy Holdings Incorporated is purchasing Rovio for about $776 million. They offer $10 a share. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. I'll link this in the description box if people want to read it for themselves. But it's like I'm not an investor in Sega or Rovio or whoever, so I just thought this was kind of interesting because you've got companies like Sega's obviously like an OG, so to speak, in the video game world, and they want to get a piece of that pie that Rovio has, or the potential, or whatever, because there's so much money to be made from the mobile game market and stuff. Here they're talking about, they said the announcement of the deal that the decision to buy Rovio was driven by the need to strengthen its position in the global gaming market. The company said this market is projected to grow to $263.3 billion by 2026, with the percentage of mobile gaming expected to increase to 56%, according to the BBC. Excuse me. And, it talks some more about, we're so blessed. Rovio's developed more than 50 games in its early years before finding, the huge success with Angry Birds, which was first released for iOS and Xiaomi devices during a time in which iPhone touchscreen technology was new. And it goes on. I found this kind of graphic on the, I think it was the Xbox Series X Reddit, where they're talking about the fiscal year 2022 income statement from Rovio. And this is, how much in-app purchases they got. 247 million pounds. This is, because this was I believe this was a British guy who had made this up. And they talk about how much revenue they had brought in. And this is where all that stuff had come from, the subscriptions, custom contracts, advertising, yada yada. Then they got, from the operating profit, was 29 million, or actually I think it's euros, my mistake. But then they talk about their operating expenses, 292 million operating expenses. Like, holy shit. I mean, of course, look at that other employee benefits, you got all that stuff. Their net profit was 23 million euro. That's, I don't know where that stands. Like, I'm not some tech guru or whatever. I'm not some like stock market guy or however you want to phrase it. Whatever the little joke is, you can insert that there. But I mean, you would think, because I don't know about anybody else, but I don't really see a ton of people playing Angry Birds and stuff. And that doesn't mean that it won't happen. And I'm sure plenty of people do, obviously. I mean, hell, they're bringing in 318 million euros in a year. That's a damn lot of money, at least in my opinion. Now, I understand at the same time, though, that, you've got issues. You're not profiting as much as maybe you could. Maybe Sega's going to try to cut down certain things or try to grow this, or maybe they'll have some kind of crossover. It's Angry Birds with Sonic and all that kind of stuff, and maybe that'll be a huge success for them. I'm not really sure, but it's just, to buy a company for $776, million, that's a hell of a lot of money. I mean, obviously to me it is. I'm not sure about, I mean, to some of these places, a drop in the bucket, a Microsoft or whatever, they'd think nothing of it. So I'm kind of surprised in a way that they didn't do it themselves. But they probably don't want to get too many antitrust lawsuits or whatever. But it's just, the potential obviously is to, make, or the intention, I guess I should say, is to try to make a lot more money. Now we'll see what happens. I don't know. I just think it's kind of interesting. You're starting to see more companies kind of, merging or buying or however you want to look at it, where everybody's kind of trying to, as the article said, strengthen their global position. We'll see how it works out for them. Anyway, I'll link this in the description box if you want to look at it for yourself. Thank you very much for watching and have a good one.